This car was found like this in a barn. The person who had this car, they didn't even know what it was. They didn't even know what the heck it was. They just say, hey, it's a car and we don't know what it is. Well, I knew what it was because I had one like this several, 25, 30 years ago. And these cars are very famous in Europe because these cars are used as a taxis. This is the right colors for the taxi. And and it was mandatory for the drivers to have a uniform in the 60s. I'm talking in the 60s. So every time you get in the airport, it was like a 20 of these cars lining up, and it looks like a little ants all over because they were economical. They fit 6 people perfectly seated in it, perfect. They did not cramp it in anything, and the engine is so small and the car is so small they can fit in the small streets in Rome. Of course, the streets now are wider and everything, but before, all the streets were very narrow. It's not really complete. They still have little nicks and knacks around, and I have already 5 years on it.
Hey, how'd you hear about this little car show?
I got invited by a friend last year, but when I came into the Italian concourse, but this was before the Italians, so I didn't have no chance to come over to this because they were already passed. So I got invited, and this year they sent me an email, and that's how I got over here.
Cool.
Well, I have to call and tell them, hey, I get this car available. And they told me, okay, leave us the name and address, and we will contact you. A few days ago, they sent me a letter that says, if you receive this letter, you are in and the list, so come over.